What's going on? This is Jerm from GoStreaking.pro. This is a daily Jerm. I just got off work. It is 2:11. Well, I got off work at about 12:15. But as I was going home tonight, I was following this car, and it just caught my eye because he went swerve, 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 almost hit the median, and I was like, oh shoot. And you don't like to do this kind of thing, but it's something that's necessary. You can't not call that person in. So I called 911, talked to Washington State Patrol, and explained what was going on. The dude was going like 45 in a 60, and the semis were flashing his lights, and then he would speed up, and he just couldn't stay in a lane to save his life. So it's tough when that kind of stuff happens, but I couldn't let him finish his drive wherever he was going to go. So I followed him and was on the phone with dispatch until he finally got pulled over in Battleground. Man, he almost went off the road so many times, and I was judging him. I was really, because I was like, God, this guy's got to be on some kind of drugs. He's got to be hammered. It's got to be bad. It was so bad. And I was nervous. I was nervous for other people. He's putting other people in danger. And he got pulled over. I thought he was so drunk. He literally pulled over when the cop turned his lights on into the turn lane and just parked there. And I was like, oh dude, that's bad. But eventually he turned into a side neighborhood, and I kind of parked down the street a little bit, and eventually the cop came and kind of said what's up to me. And nice guy, nice cop. And he said apparently he wasn't intoxicated. He was falling asleep at the wheel. And that was tough for me to hear, because that's how my dad got hurt. 15 years ago. It was somebody that hadn't slept in a few days and was driving. And I've called in drunk drivers before that were like, they kind of swerved a little bit. They swerved enough, and they kind of was like, oh, this person makes me uneasy, I'm gonna call them in. I have never been so sure that somebody was intoxicated because of how many people he put in danger between when I started following him, and which was south of Vancouver, which was actually just over the I-5 bridge, to Battleground, and which is a good 30 minutes. And the amount of people that he put in danger because of how bad it really was, including himself, was a lot. It was a ton, and I never realized how bad it truly was. So I guess what I want to talk about tonight is, if you're really, really tired, please don't drive. But the other thing was, it was interesting. I went from judging him to being like, wow, this guy must be working hard. How hard is a guy got to be working, or how much is a guy got to be grinding to not sleep for 2 days? So I almost had a little bit of respect at the same time. He shouldn't have driven, but I'm somebody that works 15-hour days trying to get my website off the ground, trying to get my book going, and I'm tired, but I also have vegetables in my car. I got bars, and I got good energy drinks in my car. I have stuff on me at all times so I can at least be good to go. But it was interesting to see that guy must be going hard. So it was interesting, and I kind of was like, man, I judged him pretty hard. But something I was talking to dispatch about really was kind of profound for me, because I was like, what's the hardest part about trying to help people is when they don't see the value in themselves. And we are what I like to call proximately blind. I live in Oregon, and I had never seen like Multnomah Falls. I hadn't seen a lot of places that a lot of people were like, oh, we go to Oregon to see that. And then I went to New York a couple Mays ago, and it was like, I want to go see Empire State Building, I want to go see Ellis Island, I want to see all of this. And a lot of people that live in New York hadn't done any of that stuff. And so I say that we are proximately blind because whatever's near us, people will be in Oregon like, oh, there's nothing to do. I live in Vancouver. There's nothing to do in Vancouver, And there's a lot of people that would come to the Northwest because they want to go on a hike, or they want to go on all this kind of stuff. So people from outside our state come in because they see the value. People from outside of the United States say, oh, it's free enterprise. I can go in and start my own business and do whatever I want to do. So people will fly in and live here, you know, and they will start their own Uber. There's a guy that works, you know, 40, 50 hours a week as his own Uber driver. And the guy makes probably more than I'm going to make this year. And they say, well, why'd you come here? And he said, well, it's free enterprise. Why wouldn't you come here? And we don't take advantage of that. And just in ourselves too as well. You know, we don't see our own faults, but we also don't see our own value. If you walk past somebody, you know, if you're friends with somebody, I guarantee you could tell them like what they need to work on and what their values are, what their incredible values are that they don't even see in themselves. We are legitimately proximity blind. I was talking to the dispatch guy. I was like, you know, it's so tough when you're trying to help somebody out and they quit on themselves. Because it's not tough for me. You know, I'm still going to keep growing. I'm still going to keep moving on my train. But to see someone give up on themselves and then be like, I'm not worth this. I'm not going to put that time in to grow. And, you know, they accept where they're at. They accept defeat and they roll over and they die. You know, I don't believe that you're actually living if you are going through the motions. I think you're already dead. You're already dead if you're not actually if you're not out there chasing something or trying to be somebody that you want to like be proud of. And you know, it's just tough to see. And the guy, because you know, he works for the police department, and he said it's hard to work for people because, you know, you pull somebody over, you just want to help them. You know, you're not, when somebody's drunk and they're driving, you're not trying to pull them over to ruin their night. You're trying to pull them over because it's like, dude, what are you doing with your life? And you know, today, for instance, I was honest with a friend of mine, and I think it's our job to be honest with people. And you know, he was out smoking a cigarette, and I didn't even know he smoked. And I'm sure he'll actually watch this video. I finally talked to him. I said, hey man, I said, how long you been smoking? And he's just like, oh, it started as a comfort thing to like relieve stress, and now it's kind of a habit. I said, well, how long's that habit been going on? He's like, I was like, are you smoking just a couple a day? Or are you smoking up to like a pack? And you know, because if the habit hasn't been going on for very long, you can stop it. And I said, you know, I would love it if you just cut back a little bit and tried to stop it before that habit turns into something else and find another way to help yourself out. You know, if you care about your friends, I don't ever believe that you can take, you know, I'm not going to ever take a beer out of someone else's hand. You know, another friend of mine had told me one time, he's like, I'm so excited to hang out with you this weekend because, you know, we're not going to drink. We're just going to have a ton of fun. You know, we always have fun, but if you know, I know you would stop me from drinking. And I said, I will never take a beer out of another man's hand, because until the day that is important enough for you to stop, you never will. But that doesn't mean, as a friend, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. I'm going to be like, I love you. And that's what I said. I said, I love you. I care about you too much to let you smoke without saying something. So if you can be that person, if you can be that voice for your friend, I would advise you to do it. You know, be that person for them. And the last thing I'll leave you with tonight is something another thing I heard from John Maxwell tonight as I was listening. It was really profound. I think you guys will like it. And he said, as a child, my parents gave me an allowance. We all got an allowance, right? He said, but he got an allowance to read. Him and his siblings, he had an older and a younger sibling, got paid from his parents to read. And what that told me is that his parents were telling him that we're not going to teach you to go work to make money. We're going to teach you to open a book and invest in yourself, invest time and money in yourself. And then we'll give you money, because that's when you make it. You want to make money out there. And I you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I've done, but you want to make money, go invest time in yourself. Go read, go learn, and you'd be amazed at the path that you can take. It's incredible. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Go check out my stuff on Jerm at GoStreaking.pro. I think you'll love it. I have a free PDF that's available for you guys. All you have to do is follow the link. You scroll down just a little bit, hit free PDF. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear your input. You know, I have a lot of good stories, but I would love to have your stories and your friends' stories impact the world and be able to change other people's lives, because that's my job. That's my goal. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna try and change people's lives, and I would love for you guys, because there's so many wonderful people. You guys have all been sending me messages and just thanking me, but you know, thank you. You know, keep changing, keep growing. Let's change people's lives. This is our task. You know, we're doing it for the people behind us, because someone's going to walk up to you someday and they're going to want to change, and you get to tell them that they can. I love you guys so much. It's a daily dose of Germ. I got to go get cleaned up. I got to go to bed. It's 2:21. I got to go to bed. See you guys.